Here are the four personalities, and the decision-making process is this one. That in order to make good decisions, decisions just like seeds in garden have to go through a process. You till the ground, you put the seed down, you nurture it, you weed it, and then it grows. You can't skip the steps. Once you skip steps, that's where chaos happens, and that's why delay. So to make a long story short, you first create the idea, then everybody advances it. And right here is the major element that certain personalities don't like to go to. And most of us, what we tend to do is we hear somebody create an idea and then we immediately critique it. That's the breakdown. The breakdown is that when people throw their idea out, we think we have the right to speak our opinion just because we know better or because we don't like the idea. But we don't hear people's ideas because we never give enough time to advance and ask clarifying questions. Okay, so what you're saying is, all right, so let me understand. You see, we don't validate the person. We don't validate the idea. We don't respect the idea being presented. So therefore, we all refine, and then this person becomes defensive. And they become defensive in one or two ways. They either fight back or they flight into disconnection. And then what usually happens is when this person who's refined realize, we hit this person too hard, then we go back to over here and go, but I do think you have a good point that, and then we try to recover the damage, but we've already done the damage. Okay, and then as this breaks down, somebody in the conversation is going to want to push to execute. Why? Because now we're delaying the discussion. So by clarifying that good decision making is all about allowing each other to present ideas, that means we've got to be better at presenting. That's usually the breakdown. You know, people come in and say, hey, I want to bring something, and I talk for 5 minutes and I don't get anywhere. You know what I'm saying? We got to get better at presenting ideas. But then everybody who's listening needs to then advance it and give a season of what are the pros, what are the possibilities of this. Then let's beat it up, and it's really beating it up. And then let's have a discussion. Let's go get some data. Let's argue about it, and then let's execute, and then we implement. This model, if you look it up, it's called the Z model. If you call it the Z model of learning or the Z model of education, the Z model of decision making, it works. It really works. What gets in the way is that the different personalities, all four different types of personalities, are not good at any one of these steps. The dominant personality likes to go from here to here. That's most executives. Okay? Hey, you guys, I'm thinking about doing this. I want to do it Friday. Okay? The I's, they have a similar approach. What they do, instead of going from create to execute, they tend to go a little bit here, but then they want to come down here because they want to skip this step. So what it sounds like is this. It's a lot more gregarious. Hey, guys, I really want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do this. What do you guys think? And see, why? What do you guys think? Because I'm an I. I'm a friendly guy. I'm not a dominant individual. I'm a friendly guy. What do you guys think? And then as I start getting opposition, I start shooting that back down. I start behaving like a dominant, and I try to go, no, guys, no, that's not going to work because of this, this, and this. And after a while, everybody realizes that, okay, so you're just really here to announce what you want us to do. While the person's saying, no, but I want your feedback. Well, we tried giving you our feedback, but you know what I'm saying? So the dominant individual are also notorious for, if they don't go from 1 to 4, they go to 1, 2, and 4. They hate 3. They hate their ideas to be critiqued. Because as you'll see through the DISC profile, what the high D's and high I's are mostly driven by is either ego or feeling accepted. So they don't want to open up conversation that's going to hit their ego or make me feel rejected. But once we do make a decision, the dominants and the influentials, they tend to want to go do their own thing and change it later. Okay, that's why it's so important for you, and I'll show you later, is how to read the DISC profiles and how to read people and realize, okay, I get it. I see what's happening. Because how they behave in meetings, they're showing their personalities, but also their decision-making style. Then over here, the C's and the S's, those are the introverts. They don't like to create a whole lot. They're not the ones that come in with, hey, I got a lot of ideas. Okay. They're usually more on the receiving side, but when they hear an idea, they usually don't like to spend a whole lot of time here because they know what usually happens if they advance their ideas, which is what? We're going to go to execute. You asking me to advance is just half a step away from you executing because you won't allow me to refine. So you know what? I'm just going to refine you because I have no way. I don't have any other way to stop you. Okay, so decisions fall apart because we're not playing. We're not respecting. We're not respecting the idea. We're not giving an idea a chance, and everybody only participates in the area that they're comfortable with. So the introverts tend to stay quiet here, and the introverts tend to stay quiet in here. Why? Because they're waiting for all the BS and the fluff to end, right? And then they'll open up here. But even here, the C's, or the S's, they'll speak up. Okay? But once they start getting pushed back, they'll say, okay, let's execute. Okay? The C's, however, don't do that. They'll speak up, and whenever they get pushed, the C's pretty much move into, that's fine, whatever you want to do. But that's not sincere buy-in. The extroverts are notorious for pushing the introverts out of their refining because they're not listening to the refining. So the S's quickly agree, but that's not real buy-in. And the high C's, they kind of go along, but that's not real buy-in. But then who ends up, whenever we do make the decision, who ends up having to do the work? The S and the C's, workers. And they're not going to run at the speed. Why? Because I remember how this was decided. Okay, and I didn't like it, and I said so in the first place, and y'all didn't listen. So we come out of meetings where really it's the extroverts making all the decisions, calling it the agree, just because we got the introverts to stay silent, and we said, oh, silence is agreement, right? All right, let's move on. We can't wait anymore. We're going to do it. And then it falls apart. Why? Because there's no real consensus. And so that's why the DISC personality and the Z model go hand in hand, because it's spot on. You look at the different team players you have, they behave very much, and we all do. The key is using the language. Oh, he's just don't listen. Stop saying that. What you need to say is he doesn't advance. Hey, advance. She needs to hear you say the language. Hey, you guys, wait, hold on. I just created something, and you guys went to refine. Okay? That's not the way to play games. I know I do that to you guys, but I'm calling you guys now. You guys get to call me. Right now, I want to advance this for 20 minutes, and then we'll move to refine, and then we can all shoot it together. But I want to move to first base. And if he uses the language more, he'll allow everyone to speak up because they'll see that he, the owner, is holding the same rules. You as the DOO, you're the one that would say, okay, I need to make sure everybody stays with the rules because they do it to each other way too much. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you for joining us. We're going to be dissecting this in other segments. Stay in touch with us and start putting these to practice, and give me a holler if you'd like for us to help you out in more detail with your team. My name is Maurice with Team Real World. Thanks for joining us.